Did you know that the millennial generation, those born between 81 and 96, are the most stressed generation in the history of our country? Well, I'm Dr. Steve Kopecky, a preventive cardiologist at Mayo Clinic, and after surviving 2 bouts of cancer, I tried to find out what types of behaviors people could adopt to avoid disease, avoid illness, and live a long life. Now let's get into it. What's stress? Well, stress is a part of everybody's life. If you have a marriage, if you have kids, if you have a job, if you have a family, you have stress. If you watch the evening news, you have stress. What's important is how we deal with it, manage it, reduce it as much as we can. First off, recognize that you have stress. How do you recognize if you have stress? Well, it's on your mind a lot. It affects, you wake up thinking about it. You go to bed thinking about it. How can you manage that? Well, you need to rewire your thoughts, rewire your brain. Your thoughts are your wiring in your brain. So rethink them. Think good thoughts when you wake up, good things that are going to happen that day. When you go to bed, think of great things that happened to you that day. There's always some things that aren't great, but focus on the good ones. Remember, there are 2 parts of your brain that manage stress. It's called the limbic system, which is the old system. It's been in every animal on Earth as long as we've been here, not just humans. And the next is the frontal part of your brain. That kind of makes your brain look at the different parts of stress and separate out the good ones from the bad ones. What's an example of that? If you see a lion running at you 90 miles an hour, your frontal brain says, don't worry about that. That's on television. This isn't a real threat. So try to get your frontal part of your brain more involved in handling your stress, in mitigating it, lessening it, saying, hey, this isn't that bad. I can handle this. When does it get too much? Well, stress is bad when you lose control, when you don't have control over what's happening, or when you're doing something that you would say the juice isn't worth the squeeze. You know, what I'm doing is just not worth it. Why am I doing this? Could be a job, could be anything. So relook at it. Say, how can I make this more worthwhile? What part of it can be helpful? How do I rewire my brain, rethink my thoughts, make this focus to be more positive instead of something that is really bothering you and stressing you? Well, it's been shown. You think good thoughts at night when you go to bed, 3 great things that happen when you wake up in the morning, 3 great things are going to happen today. That really does help rewire your thoughts and help your frontal part of your brain take over, make things a little better. Also, don't be afraid to ask for help. There are lots of stress management things we have here at Mayo Clinic. They can be very helpful to you. A lot of our patient education online material is great also. To learn more about this topic and so much more, check out my book, Live Younger Longer, written by me, Dr. Stephen Kopecky. You can find the book at mcpress.mayoclinic.org or wherever you buy books. Thanks for listening. See you next time.